The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the November 17th, the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, and that's this, during this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on it at 877-927-6648. And if you can't dial in, we've got you covered. You can always send me an email, send it early, and send it to steve@tfnn.com. And inside the subject heading, if you would be kind enough to put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. We got a bit of a sea of red out there. That's being disappointed by the semis that are up 3 points. But otherwise, Dow's off 233, 0.7%. 1 1/10% for the S&P or 44 points, 106 points for the NASDAQ 100. That's 0.9 there. 1.5% for the Russell, 28 points to the downside. Trend is off 2 0.8%, 406 points. The gold is off $14, trading at 17.61. Silver's down 65 cents. That's a 3% move to the downside. 20.86 is the print there. Silver, light sweet crude is off 267. That's 3% move. Natural gas is up 12 pennies, 673, taking on resistance. 30-year Treasury is down 19 ticks, 125.26 is the print there. The leader to the upside, dollar-wise, it is Satix Communications up $25 or 97%. Wow. United Health Group is up $10 or 2%. Northrop Grumman, $7, 1.5%. Humana, 1.5% or $7 and change. Bath and Body Works is up 20%. That's a nice move there, $6 and change. To the downside, Booking Holdings off about nearly 5% or $96. Mercado Libre down about 5% as well, $47 there. Fair Isaac Corp is down 7%. $45. We got a lot of 45s out there. Bookings is $96 though. Pool Corporation down 25, and Saya, the freight company, down nearly 7%, $16 to the downside. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. Let's begin by looking at this set of charts out here. Probably this set of charts tells us the story, and this is where we need to look for clues. So we change my screen out here. We'll get to our Ninja Trader charts, and here we've got the daily and the 30-minute charts for both the U.S. dollar index, gold, and the ES mini. So we take a look at the U.S. dollar index on a daily basis, formed a nice TD9 count bottom. Generates a nice hammer candle a couple of days ago. Now what price should do here is price should move up to 108.26. Now this set of charts, Ninja Trader charts, are not picking up the new profile, the new U.S. dollar profile that is forming out here. That support level is at 105.72, and resistance, the top of that profile, is at 108.02. So you've got 108.26 on the oscillator and change line, 108.02 on the daily profile, and that is where price is likely to head. More likely to head if you get it close today above 106.30. We're trading right now at 106.95. So as we speak at this moment, that looks like that is a likely possibility. Gold, as you can see, as the U.S. dollar was forming a TD9 count bottom, what was gold doing? Well, that was forming a TD9 count top. Both did it on bar number 8. And now what gold should do is pull back to its oscillator and change line. That should be its first move, and that's at 1730.80. Now, what's not shown here as well is the new profile that gold is also attempting to form. Resistance there is 1791, and support is at 1741, rounding up by a dime or what have you. So what gold should do is get down to that 1730 to 1741 level. If it closes below 1730, that's going to suggest a further move lower. We'll come back to that at that point in time, should that unfold. The ES Mini out here has a sell the D point. If you listen to the overview this morning, we're looking at the smaller A to B equals CD pattern out there. And yesterday we had that bear sash candle. So bear sash candle confirmed a sell the D point pattern. Now what price is doing, and here the profile is present, it's taking on profile support. That profile support level, let me give you the exact number. It is at 39.2575. We're at 39.17 right now. A close below 39.2575 is going to suggest a run to 38.93. That's its green oscillator and change line. A test and rejection of that line would be a bullish outcome. Well, the problem here is that we don't have the U.S. dollar index yet testing a level of resistance. So could be trouble out there. Could be trouble. We have to really see how the day closes. Now, that's why I also take a look at the 30-minute time frame charts. Of course, you know we can look at whatever time frame we want to look at. I'm looking at the 30-minute time frame chart. What did the U.S. dollar index do this morning? The U.S. dollar index formed a TD9 count top. What did price do? Well, pull back to support that green oscillator and change line. There was one bar closed below that, but we used that 2-bar rule out here. And the very next, that was a 1030 bar, and the one that came at 11 got priced right back above it. Now, on a 30-minute basis, the level of resistance for the U.S. dollar index is 107.08. But because we have a TD9 count out here, it's really that level, and that level I'll give you right now is the high of the pattern, and that is at 107.14. A close above 107.14 is then going to suggest that this TD9 count pattern has failed, and that we should see, it should add to the conclusion that we would reach, that price should go target the 108.02 level. That's the top of the daily profile, the 108.26 level. It's red oscillator and change line. What happens if price doesn't close above that? Well, I would say if price closed below 106.29, then that would suggest the U.S. dollar index is going to pull back further. And pull back to where? Well, the bottom of that daily profile is at 105.72. Again, the top of the profile, 108.02. I might have given you a bad number out there. 108.02, I don't want to do that. I don't think I did. And support again at 105.72. So that's what's going on a 30-minute time frame chart. Well, it turns out that as the U.S. dollar index was forming a TD9 count top, gold was forming a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. It actually formed that bottom right here. It made 2 attempts at it, but that bottom, well, it was attempted right here at 8:30. We came back, and it formed a new one at 9:30. Was confirmed here at 10:30. But all price was able to do is get up to the bottom of its bearish structured 30-minute profile, and it's turned down. Now, what price is doing right now at 11:14 is testing that red oscillator and change line. If there is a close below that level, and that level would be 1762, that would suggest a run for the lows of this morning for Goldilocks. And I presume if it takes those out, then we would see gold do is make a run down to that 1730 level. And that's that daily time frame oscillator and change line, or 1741.90, the bottom of the new profile that is attempting to form. When we take a look at the ES Mini on a 30-minute basis, I don't have any kind of a bottom pattern out here. Maybe there's an A to B equals CD. Yeah, there was an A to B equals CD pattern that confirmed here as we were coming on the air, but price running right into resistance, the top of that profile, which is 39.34. So let's summarize this in about 5 seconds, Stevie. It's all about the U.S. dollar index. And that U.S. dollar index looks like it wants to head higher, 108.02 being a price target. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go out to Bethesda, Maryland, and speak with Sue. Sue, thanks for calling, and thank you very much for holding. How are you today?
Thank you so much for taking my call. I appreciate that so much.
Sure.
Yeah, I have a stock named CHPT. I don't know what is the support level. We bought it.
So the problem is CSPT, I just not pulling that up as a valid symbol. Is that on maybe the Toronto Stock Exchange, or where might that? C is in Charlie, S is in Steve, P is in Paul, T is in Tom? Is that what you're?
Yes. No, H is a Henry.
So it's CHPT.
Yeah.
Great.
Like
Okay.
or something.
Perfect. Okay. So that's Charge Point Holdings. Perfect. Okay. So now let me get that up on. So how can I help you? What are you looking at? What are you doing? Are you in it?
Yeah, I've been losing money. I was thinking because they're earning in December 1st. I was thinking what to do to take a loss or just leave it.
Sure. Okay. So let's try to see if we can answer that question out here. And this is not a great looking stock. Now, what I mean by that, let me just be real clear here, Sue. I'm going to switch over. Oh, we're on a white background charts. Are you able to see us live on Tiger TV, or are you inside the Tigers now?
Yeah, okay. I can see the TV.
Perfect.
Now. Yeah.
Okay. So the top that formed out here way back on the trading day of September 16th. That's when this gave you a confirmation of a top out there. And it's really 2 tops. It was wave number 7, that's letter G, and it was the Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal is confirmed with a bearish reversal candle. Now we take a look at, even though there's an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside, that pattern was negated. So there's no bottom pattern that I have out here as we speak. The only thing that you have to help you to answer that question, what should you do, are support levels. So that's what you and I are going to talk about right now. And as we can see, at the moment, price is trading below its daily red oscillator and change line. That red oscillator and change line is priced at 1247. What that means, Sue, is that the price oscillator, and that's the difference between the 39 and 19 period exponential moving average of price on a daily basis, That's a key level out there. When prices are below that, it tells us that we have a falling price oscillator below zero. And that says expect price to move back to support. Well, you and I want to talk about support. Turns out that CHPT, Charge Point Holdings on a daily basis, has formed a bullish structured profile. So the buyers are lined up between the price point of 1150 and 1219. If price were to close below 1150, that would suggest that this wants lower price. But before I would completely make that call, you'd want to see price moving into that swing point from November 9th with more than 8.6 million shares. If that's unfolding, then that suggests that this thing is going to go lower. Now, when we move over and take a look at the weekly chart, we'll see that its profile support level is 1180, which was tested and held last week. And that formed a bullish hammer candle. So that gives us another data point. I believe it's going to be the same price point, but if not, the level is 1116. If price were to close below on a weekly basis 1116, that tells you that price is going to go retest the lows for May 13th. Now, how do you know if it's going to blow away those lows? Well, one indication would be if price is pulling back, and when I say pulling back, it would get into the 1178 level. And if it's doing it on a weekly basis with more than 75 million shares out there, 74.6 to be exact, that's telling you that price is likely going to go ahead and take out those lows out there. Now, when it takes out, if it were to take out those lows, where price would head back to is 957 and 975. And 975 is the TD9 count breakout area for its monthly time frame chart. That's what price did in May of 22. It got all the way down there and it tested and rejected that level. So as far as the heat that you would be taking, that's an assessment that you need to make. What I can share with you are the support levels for you to watch. Again, that starts at 1150 to 1219. Of course, we believe the ultimate support level out here is going to be the price point of $11.16. And if price gets below that and closes below that, then you're looking at a move to 975. Now, does that information help you, or what confuses you, so that I can try to restate it more clearly?
Well, I was just thinking that right now, should we get it out to wait until 1219 or 1116, lots of more money? That's a question.
Yeah, I wish I... Now look,
is any hope to go a little bit higher? Right now it's 12 something, 1230 something?
So it's a great question. And I would answer that by just coming back to this 30-minute time frame chart. This 30-minute time frame chart generated a Rhodes momentum indicator top. And what we can see here, and it generated a TD9 count at the bottom. It did this, looks like yesterday, November 16th. It does that at 11 o'clock in the morning. And that gave you your little bounce, which was inside the profile. And price found resistance at the center of that profile. You're now down below the bottom of that profile. There's no bottoming signal here whatsoever. That doesn't mean that it can't bounce. I'm just sharing with you that on my stock charts from a technical standpoint, we don't have any indication that this even wants to bounce, even from a 30-minute time frame chart. Maybe it just moves sideways. Maybe it doesn't go lower. But I think you're looking for this thing to maybe move higher. And right now, this is just got this, the stock charts don't look really that well for CHPT, no matter what time frame it is that I pull up here. But what you have going for you, it's a small thing, but it's an important thing, is that bullish structured daily profile. And that's between that price point of 1150 and 1219. So that's where support is at. Those are the patterns that I see. Is there anything else, Sue, that I can help you with?
Oh, you're really big help. So I just take a chance, or just doesn't look like going to go higher, right now.
No, it gave us a look back on the trading day of November 15th, and really it should have been able to continue to move higher because price was above the top of its daily profile. But for whatever reason, it got back inside there on November 16th, and now it's really suggesting, whether it's 1219 or 1150. And today's volume so far is about 2.5 million shares, and the swing point has 8.6 million shares from November 9th. So if I just multiply 2.5 times 3, I'm going to be at, 7.5 million shares. It's pulling into that swing point with lighter volume. So that would justify, sticking it out a bit out there. But it's your money. If you're asking me, do I see a bottom? I don't. And it's really all about where is support. And what we don't know is whether support will hold or not. All you can really do is kind of use volume as a guide as price pushes into swing point areas. Okay?
Okay, I appreciate that so much. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it so much, Steve. You're the best. Thanks.
Oh, thank you very much, and thank you very much for the call. That was Sue in Bethesda, Maryland out there. We've got some other questions that have come in. Let's get to those. Hector wrote in earlier, and let's take a look at CVS. So let's get those charts here fired up, and let's actually read the question. And it goes like this. Hey, Steve-O, happy Thirsty Thursday. In fact, I'm thirsty right now. So I'm going to take a swig. And so thank you for that. CVX, do we have a sell the D point yet? Perfect question. The answer is yes, you do. So here's what it looked like here, Hector. Let's draw the A to B point out here. So we're just going to draw A to B. And then what we're going to do is we're just simply going to take this line to the C point out here, which would be about right there. And you can see this made more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. Turns out that on a trading session November 9th, that created that three-river evening star. It also created a bearish engulfing candle. And price dipped right back into its profile. Now we have price below the bottom of its daily profile. And that suggests that what CVS wants to do is wants to go run to its breakout level. And that's at 92.87. I take a look at the weekly chart out here. It's inside the profile, and that says that price must close below this week, must close below 94.94 in order to suggest that price can get to 92.87. Hector, stay tuned. We'll come back. We'll finish. Take a look at CVS.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Probably Hector and Patty fell off their chairs as I was doing a review of CVS. And they were like, hey, Stevie, can't you read? It was CVX. So we've got the CVX. So you got a twofer out there. You got CVX up on our screens out here. You know, Hector, to answer your question, has this confirmed a sell the D point? We don't even really need to know that. What we know is that this formed both wave number 7, that's letter G, but more importantly, a Rhodes momentum indicator top. And it did it at the highs when it created that bearish shooting star candle. That was on the trading session of November 14th. Now, what we have is price consolidating with inside its profile. So there's really two levels of support here, Hector and Patty. The first level is going to be the bottom of that profile, 178.14. The second area is going to be 175.17. That's its TD9 count breakout level. The weekly chart at the present time, Thursday, 11:30 in the morning, has a bearish reversal candle, has a bear sash candle. Now, I don't know what it will look like tomorrow at 4 p.m., but if this is a bearish reversal candle, then Hector and Patty, that suggests RMI top, Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on the weekly time frame, and that suggests a move to 174.79. And the monthly still has that TD9 count top that is still in play out here. So it does look like CVX is getting ready to is going to pull back further. And again, those price levels are likely 175.17 to 178.14. Hector and Patty, thanks for writing in as always, and have a terrific thirsty Thursday. Alton wants to take a look at Coterra Energy. The ticker symbol there is CTRA. So let's get that up on our screen out here. And Alton is looking for an entry point. And so let's go get that up on our screen now. This is trading out right now at 26.30. We'll see as soon as my charts here populate. And that's trading down into a swing point low from the trading session back in September 29th to be exact. So let's pull this over here. What we can see with regard to CTRA is it's trading below red oscillator and change line. It's trading below the bottom of its bullish structure daily profile. It broke that yesterday. You're having follow through today. So what price is likely going to do out here is likely go test that swing point. Now, the swing point that I'm looking at, September 29th, did volume there at 6.1 million shares. You're already at 2.7. 2.7 times 3, if it keeps up with that same, is going to be more volume. So now prices inside that swing point with volume, that typically suggests, Alton, that price will go test that low. And that low out there from that trading session is 25.20. Now at 25.50, you have a weekly TD9 count breakout level. We have a weekly bullish structured profile, 25.65 to 26.86. So I would say that if CTRA pushes down to that swing point low, again, 25.20, is doing it with less than 6.1 million shares on that day, then I'd say fire away at it. That could be your buy point. However, if price is moving into that with volume out there, well, then that's going to suggest at least to move back to this level here, which is the trading week of July 8th, and that low is 24.44. And if it takes that out, well, you'd have a weekly A to B equals CD to the downside. We're not there yet, just giving you step-by-step what to watch, what to pay attention to. So, Alton, I hope that helps you out with regard to CTRA. We've got a request for take a look at Walmart. This is from Stash. So we'll get those charts here populated. And Stash writes in, he says, Walmart, is it a good buy? Well, let's go find out if it's a good buy or if it's saying goodbye. So we'll let those charts here populate. We've got Walmart, WMT is the ticker symbol. And right now, is it a good buy? Wow, it's up at its highs out there, near the all-time highs. So I guess the question is this going to move higher out here? You know, I'd rather have you buy a bottom than buy a potential top. Now, the reason why I say a potential top is because there is a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal that has been triggered. Now, what this is failing to do so far is produce a bearish reversal candle. If you got that, then that would be telling us that price would want to move lower. Lower, 144.84, 143.57, maybe all the way down to 139.70. Don't know because we're not there just yet. The weekly time frame, though, it has an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside, only in bar 5, and it is suggesting a move to 154.99. And the monthly chart is suggesting a move to 152.07. But is it a good buy? You know, I don't know whether price will be able to break through those resistance levels, with 152.07 being the first key one that is up. I wouldn't be buying it here. Instead, if you want to buy it, try to buy it on a pullback. Are we going to get a pullback out here with regard to Walmart? I don't know. It has the signal set up. It doesn't have the bearish reversal candle. The 30-minute chart out here, Stash, just consolidating. So it's neither breaking out nor breaking down. So we don't have a real good clue there. But knowing that resistance is not that far ahead on a $148 stock, I don't really think it's worth the reward risk. But if you ask me, does it look like this wants to move higher? It does until it generates a bearish reversal candle. Then that could or would signal a retracement, then maybe you take a look at buying that retracement. So I hope that helps you out, Stash. Thanks so much for the question. The last one that we've got with regard to questions on instruments like this, we do have a question about the euro. That's from Peter. But G-Man wants to take a look at MP is the ticker symbol out there, and he's looking for an entry point. So let's get those charts here fired up. And MP is MP Materials. So that makes it pretty easy. What I can share with you right now while these charts here populate, you can see that price is below the bottom of its daily profile, G-Man, on a daily time frame. There is like it's just below the profile and its green oscillator and change line. If it closes below this green oscillator and change line today, that level is about where it's trading right now. That's printing at 32.44, 32.49, and we're trading at 32.48 right now. If price closes below that, G-Man, and you're looking for an entry, that tells you your entry point is likely going to be lower. Now, lower to where? Because price tested and rejected at the top of its weekly profile at 35.91, the first number that would pop out at us as we speak at 11:36 is $30.70. So it closed below 32.49, which is where we're trading right now. It's going to suggest to move to 30.70. The next area, if price were to close below 30.70, would be 27.41. Monthly chart isn't helping us other than that 31.27 is a level of support. Now, I'm going to look at the 30-minute chart for us real quickly here, or not necessarily quickly, but just look at it. And as we take a look at a 30-minute time frame chart, do we see a bottom? Turns out we do. We see a TD9 count bottom that formed here at the open this morning as price gapped lower. Also formed a wave 7 pattern out there. But what price has not done, G-Man has been able to take out any areas of resistance. It may trade up to that. What I don't know is whether we'll take that out. A counter trend move on a 30-minute basis would take you to 33.35, maybe only to 33.17, maybe only to 33.07. I think 33.17 more likely than not. But here's the deal. If price takes out this low, doesn't have to be today's session, but if it does take out this TD9 count low at 32.07, that'll be telling you that the entry point for MP is at lower prices. Now, it's nice that we've got a TD9 count on the 30-minute chart. We don't have any kind of bottoming signal really on the daily time frame to suggest that now is the time to enter. And that's the update as of 11:37. So, G-Man, I hope that helps you out, and thanks so much for the request. So now what Stevie's going to do is I'm going to close this down here. I'm going to close down another chart. I'm just setting this up so that we can take a look at the euro, since we've gotten through all of the requests out there, with the exception of Peter, who wants to take a look at the euro out here. Now, I may need to... Yeah, so I'm just going to do this here. I've got to just change up my system. It's really the data flow that's coming into it, because I want to look at these white background charts for the euro. So we're going to get those charts here up momentarily. It'll take a moment to populate, but we'll go through the euros trading. Where's my euro charts here? Here we go. So we're getting at that multi-set, a set, just like we did with the dollar, the U.S. dollar. Well, in the case of the U.S. dollar, yeah, I was looking at the multi-time frame charts. What? Peter's short the euro, so we want to take a look at the multi-time frame charts for it. So like those charts are going to populate as we speak here, and we come back from this break. We'll go through in detail the euro. Of course, if you'd like me to look at something for you, just give us a call at 877-927-6648 or send me an email. Do that quickly. Steve@TFNN.com.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. So we've got the charts for the euro up on our screen right now. We're taking a look. We start from left to right on a monthly time frame. I don't have any kind of a bottom signal. What we did get was a nice counter trend move right up to its red oscillator and change line. Peter, that's currently printed out at 104.45, and so it's a red oscillator and change line. Testing, rejecting that as a bearish outcome. Closing above it would say you've got more counter trend rally to follow. The weekly time frame has a nice little Rhodes momentum indicator signal, but was never confirmed with a bullish reversal candle. Nonetheless, price did close above 102.68. That was a TD9 count breakout level. That's suggesting that price might want to move higher. But when we take a look at the daily time frame, if price is going to move higher, what price will need to do is negate its TD9 count top. And that's going to complete today. It formed yesterday. It was bar number 8 the day before that identified the high, 1.0481 to be specifically. And this is suggesting that on a daily basis, Peter, price will pull or should pull back to its green oscillator and change line. That's at $1.01. If price closes below that, that suggests a further move lower. 97 cents would be one of the price targets. So that's what's going on daily, weekly, and monthly. I don't know what your time frame is that you're looking at. If we look at a 30-minute time frame as an example, what you will see here is that this formed a TD9 count bottom. It did that at 9:30 this morning. That led to a rally. That rally ran out of steam at the top of its 30-minute profile. That 30-minute profile, Peter, is 1.0349. Price right now is trading below its red oscillator and change line. That suggests a test of support. That's at 103.13. And if price takes out the TD9 count bottom, that low out there is 1.030. That tells us that price is going to move back to that 101 level. That's the daily oscillator and change line. So that's what's going on a 90-minute basis. The 60-minute time frame, no bottom signal. Well, maybe it's got to buy the D-point pattern. It does buy the D-point pattern out there, but nothing above the red oscillator and change line. The 120-minute time frame chart, the 2-hour chart, is signaling a potential TD9 count bottom there. So we kind of have some mixed intraday signals. And the mixed intraday signals are suggesting here that you've got a bit of a choppy market when it comes to the euro. But I think the monthly chart has said, hey, you know what? I'm done with my counter trend move to the upside. The weekly chart says, oh, I'm really disappointed because you had a nice bottom going there. The daily chart says, hey, I'm on board with the monthly chart right now because of that TD9 count top, and that suggests lower price. But intraday, we've got some bottoming signals, but nothing has been able to take out resistance. So I don't know your trading style, but that's what I see when I take a look at those charts. So I hope that that helps you out with regard to what the euro is doing. So now I'm going to close those out. I'm going to restart my data flow from one of my other systems, and Yeah, because a Ninja Trader, you can actually tell where to get the data feed from for different style instruments out there. So now that we've got that going, let's get my 3-panel set of charts up here and go to 2 more questions that have come in. And the first one is coming in from Nicholas. And Nicholas writes in, and he says, good morning, Steve. Happy early Turkey Thursday. Same, actually. How about that? A week from today, we'll be eating turkey out there. Would you please go over BA? So we're going to get that up on our screen here first. And let's take a look at what this is doing. And let's actually finish reading the question. Would you please go over BA, TD9 count, entry point, and if you have time, the SMHs. That short-term bottom is a question mark. So we take a look at Boeing right here. Boeing forms a TD9 count top. And so far, what it's done here, it is pulled back and tested, and so far today rejected the green oscillator and change line. That's at 169. So the signal here on a daily basis for Boeing is neutral. Now, if price were to close below that green oscillator and change line, Nicholas, what you're looking at is move to 166.59, and below that, 150.68, and below that, 141.54. But right now, this is looking pretty good. The weekly chart looks relatively good. It's trading above profile, suggesting to me it wants to make a move to 192.35. The monthly chart, boy, it's got a Rhodes momentum indicator signal trigger, but no bullish reversal candle, and price finding resistance at the bottom of that profile. The bottom of that monthly profile is at 171.34. Because it's a bullish structured profile, 183.01 would be where you would expect or anticipate a counter trend move, if that's all this is. We don't know that to be the case, but that's where you would expect and anticipate a counter trend move to end. So you're wanting TD9 counts? Well, the TD9 count was really from several days ago when it formed that TD9 count top out there. Support is that green oscillator and change line. You have the levels before that. If we look at a 30-minute time frame chart, see what this has signaled to us, if anything at all. Not really. So I don't have a good signal here. Now, what I mean by that is actually, so if we look at this, you've got a TD9 count top. It's not the kind that we use to validate a bottom out here. And prices run into resistance. That's that red oscillator and change line. So if price closes above 170, 160, that says you've got a little bit more rally. But if it doesn't, looks like Boeing wants to head lower. But, you know, got to wait for a close below 169 on the daily time frame. You want to look at the SMHs? Let's pull that up as well. Your question is that a buy as we speak right now? So Boeing has the potential for a buy. It just depends on your risk out there, your risk appetite. And it's based upon the momentum continuing. That's why I closed below that green oscillator and change line would say, hey, guess what? That momentum is now waned. With regard to the SMH, is also another TD9 count top. It was bar number 8 there. This is suggesting a pullback to 209.84. And if prices get below that, 207.08 would be its signal. The weekly chart says I want to eventually get up to 235.80. And the monthly chart, which has a nice TD9 count bottom, says I want to eventually get up to 241.44 to the 247 area. But right now, the daily time frame is saying I want to pull back. Let's see, Nicholas, what the 30-minute time frame chart communicates to us. And that's the following. Right now, price has found resistance at the top of its profile. That's 218.66. It's trading below red oscillator and change line. This is suggesting to me that price wants to at least retest 215.38, but more likely to not get back to the 210.65 level. That's a 30-minute TD9 count breakout level. So with regard to the SMHs, do I think they've bottomed? I'm not seeing a confirmed sign that that is the case out there. And more likely, that price wants to get to 207.08 to 209.84. So, Nicholas, thanks much for writing in. Much appreciated. Our next question goes to Brent in Martinez, California. Good morning, Brent. He says, good morning, Steve. I'd appreciate your analysis on RLX. So let's get RLX up on our screens out here and continue reading the question. And it goes like this. I am long off that first sign of strength. Please provide areas of support and resistance. And any other information you can provide would be great. Thanks so much. Have yourself a terrific Thursday and a wonderful weekend. You do the same. That's Brent in Martinez, California. And if we take a look at RLX Technologies out here, boy, it looks very nice and very strong on a daily time frame. Price is traded above the top of its daily profile and into a swing point from the trading day of November 4th. That swing point, Brent, had volume of 27 million. Today, you've done 20 million. Price is moving into a swing point. Well, here's the actual swing point. I apologize. This sign of strength out there. That's from October 26th. Now that did 68 million shares. Man, you're gonna this has the potential to do 60 million shares today too. This looks strong. So your question was areas of support. So one area of support is certainly the green oscillator and change line at 152, but price closed below that yesterday. So I would say that your support levels are really 131 and 142. Bullish structured, excuse me, daily profile. Now, resistance, your real resistance level, I guess there would be two, Brent. The first one's going to be that swing point high. That's up at $1.81. That's from that October 26th level. And then above that is 189, the first TD9 count breakdown area. And if price closes above that, that suggests this wants to move higher. Man, on a weekly time frame, I've got a wave number 7 pattern, and it looks like price wants to go target 225. TD9 count on the monthly time frame, that suggests a move to 397. So right now, I'd say it's going to be all about the $1.89 level. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Take that.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back up, folks. So we got our last question out here. This is from inside the Tiger's Den. Alan, who wants to take a look at an entry point into UNG. So what Alan is looking at is really this set of charts right here. What I want you and everybody to oops, sorry, I didn't put the UNG charts up. Why didn't Stevie do that? UNG, the important thing about UNG, that's a natural gas ETF out there, is to understand what the positions are that it holds. And the last time I looked at it was a couple of days ago. I believe it is exclusively the January 2023 contract out there. Now, if we were to take a look at the UNG right now, what we would say is that this looks pretty bullish. When I say pretty bullish, price is trading above the top of its profile out there. And that might actually get you into a long position out here. And I don't know, that could be the reason why Alan is taking a look at it. But Stevie's not going to let Alan or anybody else do that and pay attention to this ETF, because you really need to make your trading decisions off of the futures contract or whatever future contracts may be within inside that ETF. Well, since it's exclusively the January contract, that makes things easy for Alan and I. And as we take a look at the daily time frame up in the upper left-hand side, we'll see that the resistance is at 683. Today's high has been 6.829. You got to love those profiles. So, Alan, what we know about natural gas is not the UNG chart, but the actual underlying instrument is trading right into resistance. Now, I don't know if price is going to take that out or not. You have resistance on a 5-hour time frame chart that is approximately the same thing. So you got lots of sellers lined up at that. So your entry point, your preferred entry point here, and I think we discussed this yesterday or the day before with others, is when price gets back to that red oscillator and change line, that would, because it's just consolidating with inside the daily profile, that would be a better entry point for you. That's at $6.26 out there. So I don't see now is the time. I don't want to ask you to buy resistance, especially when resistance hasn't failed. So I'd say just be patient out here. It's been a nice consolidation, as you can see in the daily time frame, on the 5-hour time frame, a nice consolidation pattern. Maybe you'll be lucky enough for price to get back to that 626-ish area. 620, 6.20 to 6.275 is the bullish structured 5-hour time frame profile as well. Well, that was a quick hour, folks. Please join me tomorrow morning early, 8 o'clock is when we're going to be recording the show, between 8 and 9. Please join us for Tea and Crumpets. If you can, we'll make sure that show is as pertinent as we can for that 11 to 12 hour. Have a terrific Thursday, and I'll look forward to seeing you on fantastic Friday. Take care, folks.